Good morning once again and welcome to another edition of Top 5 Tuesday. My name is Jeff Dick, getting ready for Game 5 tonight. The first round has been a wild one. Coming into today, all three Canadian teams in the exact same situation. A 2-2 tie in their series after going 1-1 at home and 1-1 on the road. We'll see what happens tonight in Game 5 between my Leafs and the Lightning as well as the Edmonton Oilers. They're taking on LA in Game 5. It's been a wild first round, but you know, when it comes to country music, there are a few guys who have taken wild to a whole nother level. One of them is the legendary red-headed stranger himself, Willie Nelson. So today, we're going to count down the top 5 craziest Willie Nelson stories of all time. It's today's Top 5. There is no shortage of wild and crazy stories about Willie Nelson. We're going to count them down, my top 5 crazy Willie stories. Let's get it started. At number 5, we have Willie's reaction to the success of the song Hello Walls. Now, before he was a popular singer in his own right, Willie was a great songwriter in Nashville, writing hits for other people. He most famously wrote Crazy for Patsy Cline. But it was Hello Walls that got quite possibly the best reaction from Willie Nelson. As Farron Young tells the story, a young Willie pitched him the song. He said, "Yeah, that sounds great, I'll record it." Willie was down on his luck at the time, was needing some cash, so Willie offered him the rights to the song. "I will give you the songwriting rights if you give me $500 cash right now." Now, Farron Young, he had a feeling this song was going to be a hit, and he didn't want to see his friend out a lot of money, so he said, "Hold on, I'll give you $500 right now, but you do not give me the rights to this song. I have a feeling it's going to get you a whole lot more than $500, and Farron was right. He said when that song hit the radio stations, they were selling thousands of copies right away, and the money started rolling in. The first check Willie got for that one was around $25,000, and Farron said he was just sitting at the bar at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge, a famous hot spot in Nashville, when all of a sudden the door flew open. Here came Willie Nelson after getting his first $25,000 check, grabbed Farron Young, and French kissed him right there in the middle of the bar, and as Farron Young told it was the best kiss he ever had. That's at number 5. At number 4, his earning of the nickname Shotgun Willie. You don't get that nickname by accident, and Willie definitely did not. This was when he had found out that one of his daughters was being mistreated by her husband at home. He said he was mad enough that he just got in his car, drove over there, and slapped him around a little bit and told him, "Don't you ever lay your hands on my daughter again." Willie went home, but the guy followed him and actually brought a rifle. He took a shot at Willie when Willie was standing by his barn. He said the wood exploded a few feet from his head, so Willie went and got a shotgun and took a couple of shots at that guy's car as well. So Shotgun Willie's birth, that comes in at number 4. At number 3, physically walking away from a plane crash. Willie's plane was coming in for a landing one day, and it was a private plane on a seldom used airstrip. As they hit the runway, there was a hole in the runway. The plane's tire caught it, and the plane actually flipped and went on its back, crashing right in front of Willie's promoter, who was waiting on the runway for his client to arrive. Immediately, he calls up the media and goes, "Willie Nelson's plane just crashed. You got to get down here." He goes in, tries to find Willie and the pilot, finds them both limping up the road as the media shows up, quickly getting on Willie Nelson, asking all sorts of questions. How did he survive? What happened? And Willie responding with the great line, "This was a perfect landing. I walked away, didn't I?" That's number 3. Number 2 wild Willie Nelson story, stopping a potential shootout between the police and his road crew. The police had been called to a parking garage where Willie and his road crew were there. I don't know what they were called for, but apparently, as his manager remembers it, the cops show up, they spill out of their cars, they've got guns drawn, they're telling everybody to hit the deck. Willie's crew, they seem to have firearms themselves, so they're pointing it at the cops. Everybody's screaming, yelling. All of a sudden, the door to the bus opens, and out comes Willie Nelson. And as his manager remembered it, here comes Willie. He walks off the bus wearing his cut-off jean shorts and tennis shoes. He's got 2 huge Colt 45s stuck in his waist, the barrels so long they're sticking out the bottom of his Daisy Dukes. Now he walks right over to the cops, who are already nervous as ever, and just says, "What's the trouble, boys?" And he's got this calming aura about him that just calms everything right down. And the manager said within a few minutes, Willie's signing autographs and everything's okay. The sight of Willie Nelson in denim cutoffs, it's a calming influence apparently. That's in at number 2. Number 1 wild Willie Nelson story though, smoking a joint at the White House. Now, if there's a Willie Nelson story, you kind of expect marijuana is going to be involved. This one happened back in 1980. He was there as a guest of President Jimmy Carter, but during their visit, he found time to make his way up to the roof of the White House to smoke a joint, just because he wanted to say he smoked a joint at the White House. While he was up there, someone else came up there and shared that joint with him. Now, Willie was always coy as to who it was, but in his 1988 autobiography, he let it be known exactly who it was, and President Carter, well, he corroborated the story. It was the president's own son, Chip Carter, joining Willie Nelson for a joint on the roof of the White House. Definitely a crazy story, but Willie's life has been full of them, and those are my top 5. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back again next week with a brand new Top 5 Tuesday. Go Leafs!